Hello, hello, hello. Good evening, everyone. It's 6:30 p.m. Eastern Time. I'd like to take a look at Bitcoin. I'd like to take a look at a lot of alts as well, just to see if it's time. Is it time to buy alts? Is it time? Is the time here yet? So I'm going to take a look at Bitcoin because that's obviously what's driving the market. That's where all the alpha is right now, and alts are getting decimated. Lumen's down 10%, Ripple down 10%, VeChain down 10%, Link down 9.5%, Tron down 8.9%, Cardano down 10%, Litecoin down 5%. So when is it? When is the time to buy? ZIL was down 12% today. There's some stronger names on the market, but I'd like to take a look through all of these to see when that time is going to be right. When is it going to be time to buy and get out of Bitcoin? Because right now Bitcoin is where the money is at. It's very clear that it is where the money is at. But I think we're getting close to an end. And I want to take a look at all these. But of course, this is not financial advice. I'm not your financial advisor. You're responsible for your own trades, managing your own risk, doing your own research. This is just my opinion on the market. We'd love to have you in our Discord as well. There is a link in the video description. There's a QR code. I try to make it real easy for you guys. Just scan that barcode. You can get an invite code to our Discord server where we talk about all of this stuff. Both crypto and stocks on a regular basis, a daily basis. We've got some great minds in there. We'd love to have you there. So, okay, let's go ahead and take a look at the chart. Move on over to our live scene here. Okay, so as you can see, I've got a listing of all of the different things I'm going to look at. You can see how red each and every one of them are. Let me just squeeze this down a little bit so we can see the chart a little bit better. All right, so from this, we've kind of rehashed this. I mean, we've already hashed this out numerous times, but just for those of you that may have not seen this before, off of this low back here at about 16.2, I was counting this as a 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 into the 3, go down into the 4. We're working on this 5. Potentially taking us all the way up to 30 to 33,000. I can easily see us getting tapped out here at 30, maybe getting a little bit of a pullback here. Again, working on this wave 4, 1, 2, 3, could get a little push up into the 3, a pullback into the 4. Then we get that 5 here into this 5th wave, because as part of Elliott wave is, you drill down a little bit deeper, you're going to get impulse waves inside of impulse waves on lower time frames. I'm looking at it hourly here, so you can easily see, if I drill in here and just take a look at this, you can easily see that what we've got, let me just do this here, from here, and actually let me go to maybe a 15-minute time frame. It's going to be a little easier to see off of this. So from the bottom here, you can see we've got a 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, working on the 4, getting into the 5. So that's going to be a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So again, that wave 3 could take us up to that 30,000 mark, maybe not quite that high, probably punch into maybe 20,500, because again, off the bottom here. So from down here, we've got this 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 3, come down here for the 4, and then we go up for the 5. And that 5, I think, is what's going to take us up there. But what we have seen off this right here is the same thing. We've seen a larger impulse off the 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, and again, we're working on finishing that 5th move on a larger degree. So as you can see, I think Bitcoin is just ready to finish this last move. Which we are likely going to get an extension. What you're going to be looking for on a Bitcoin top is a lot of volume. You're going to be looking for a heck of a lot of volume here. I don't know if I've got volume. I do. Let's just take a look at this. Obviously, there was a lot of volume right here. On this little push up, there was a lot of volume behind that. But this is not a top, right? A top on Bitcoin looks a little more like this, where it gets up there, it spends a little bit of time, then a sharp sell-off. All right, we're not seeing that right now. Actually, we're seeing it try and push itself back up, spending way too much time up here. That's not indicative of a top. All right, we need to see sharp thrust move to the upside and then a sharp move to the downside. That would be what I would see as a top. It's probably going to look a little bit like this. 3, A, B, C into the 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then a pullback. And then we see a larger pullback. This would be what I would see as a top if we were to make that happen. I can see stop losses getting kicked in on the other side of 30,000. We may thrust up to and extend up to 33,000. Very possible. There's going to be people that are going to be looking to short at 30K, but with all of those stops that are going to be sitting there, it's going to be very easy for this thing to move up quick. So liquidate all the people that did a 10x short at 30,000. There you go. That could be easily where those bags are going to be filled at 33. But anyway, that's Bitcoin. I still think that there is some more upside on Bitcoin. There will be a time where I'm going to change my bias and I'm going to say that we're going to be going down. But again, I don't see indications that we're topping out yet. There's no reason to short the market right now, unless you're shorting alts. And that's why a lot of you are here, I think. So we're going to flip through some of these and we're going to take a look and see what's going on with alts, because Bitcoin, again, recently made another all-time high. We're finding some support here. You know, not to extend this out a little bit, but here, this reclaimed as support. Let's change the color on this. It's the green. That's going to be support, right? That's clear that that's support. We zoom out a little bit, and what do we have? We have another area right here, reclaimed as support. Yeah, so you know we're seeing the push up, the pullback, and then a thrust through, pullback, reclaim it as support. Thrust through, pullback, reclaim it as support. Once we start breaking down some of these support zones, then we can start talking about a potential top being here. But for right now, all those areas that were previously previously resistance are now acting as support. Okay, we're continuing to see it over and over and over. Previous resistance is being turned into support. All right, right here, previous resistance reclaimed as support. That one did go a little bit deeper than I would have thought it would have gone, but nonetheless, this is still previous resistance being reclaimed as support, even on these lower time frames, these lower levels, right? But obviously what you're going to be looking for is the larger, you know, this actually would be what I would have considered what looks like a top. So this is what we're going to kind of be looking for. But there wasn't a ton of volume behind that. We need to see a lot more volume, especially at these prices, a lot more volume up here. So again, I'm interested to see what happens at 30K, but I think it's very possible we do make our way up to 33. So let's keep on flipping through. Let's take a look at Ethereum. And a lot of these I haven't looked at in a long, long time. I haven't looked at Ethereum in a long time. So I'm going to move to a 4-hour time frame on Ethereum. And I want to take all of these things back to you know, where things were in March, right? Because we had that, you know, what everybody's referring to as a black swan event. We had that. I'm going to remove the volume just to clean up the chart a little bit. We had this black swan event that everybody's talking about, and so that's kind of be where I take this from. All right, so down here we went as low as 90 bucks basically, and very easy. This could be seen as a 1, 2, and then a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. All right, so we've got basically from down here a nice 1, 2, 3, 4, and working on that fifth move. I mean, I think Ethereum may be close as well. Ethereum may be close to being done with this move. And remember, taking your trend-based fib up to the 1, down to the 2, we would actually expect for wave 3 to actually finish up here. So, okay, all right. We expect for wave 3 to finish at the 1618, which is going to be sitting up here, and this makes a lot of sense, up here at about $800. All right, we're at 754 right now. We see that pullback for wave 4, and then we see higher prices for wave 5. Now, where does that go? Let me throw the 2618 on here. This looks like a pretty, okay, the 2618 is already there. It's just up much higher. There it is. It seems a little far-fetched to see Ethereum at $2,000, but at the same time, nobody would have really expected Ethereum to be up here at $1,500 in December of 2017. So it doesn't seem too far-fetched to think that it could do that. All right, going back to a 4-hour, let's get this back on here. Again, a 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, working on this 5 to go into the third makes a whole lot of sense for Ethereum to get up to $800, then we do a pullback. Where are we going to go on a pullback on a wave 4? On a strong trend, and we barely retraced it all for this wave 2. So let's measure from the bottom of wave 2 to the top of wave where we think wave 3 is going to be, and we think it's going to be at about 800 bucks. All right, so let's just say it goes up to 800. All right, well, let's put the 236 and let's put the 382 on here. Let's get rid of all the others because a lot of the others just going to be just going to be garbage. All right, let's just clean this up. So we could have a wave 4 down here to the 236, which is actually going to be a pullback to $560. It's possible, not probable, but possible we come back down here to 450. Then we see a huge move up to 2,000. All right, imagine that. Getting this guy all the way back down here 450 and taking it and riding it up to 2,000. All right, what kind of a play would that be? Let's just take a look here. Taking that up to 2,000, that's 350%. If that happens. Now, everybody's expecting this to just continue to fly up, and that's not what's going to happen. This is not going to just continue to fly up. I want to see some moving averages on here. I don't usually pay a whole lot of attention to moving averages, but I'm going to go ahead and do that right now. Let's go ahead and keep our 21 and our 55 on here. Keep the 21 and the 55. We're at a 4-hour time frame. I'm going to move myself out to the daily. See what's going on the daily. All right, so you're going to see a lot of price action, a lot of history here. Knowing again that we're talking about this guy coming all the way back down here to maybe 560, maybe 450. All right, so let's do this. Let's also throw the 100 and the 200 exponential on here. All right, so what do we have? We've got the 200 daily that's just creeping up. Okay, you've got the 100 daily that's creeping up. Wouldn't surprise me one bit if we were to find ourselves up here. A, B, C. Wouldn't surprise me one bit for something like that to happen. What are you going to get there? Well, you're going to reclaim this as support. This is going to be a good support cluster. So that 382 is in high confluence. If we were to make our way up to 800, that 382 makes a whole lot of sense. It could be this is a very strong trend for alts, and I think it's going to happen eventually. We're going to see a pullback maybe to 560, but again, I still think that we could be seeing this guy move up to this 1618, maybe the 175. If you've watched me for any amount of time, you know I always keep an eye on that 175 also. So let's throw that on there. Don't have it there. 1750. Let's see where that 175 is at, which is actually going to be sitting up there at about $900. So somewhere up here, I think Ethereum is going to top out, and we're going to get that pullback. When we finally start to see that, then we're going to be looking for our targets for retracement. So up here, between $800 and $900, that's kind of a wide window if you're talking about any kind of decent short. Anywhere between $800 and $900. If it stops at 800, we're going to look at 560 and 450. If it does happen to make its way up here to the 175, which is a strong trend, it could happen, down to 600 or 480. So things change a little bit. We're just going to have to wait and see. But I think we're getting close. Like, I think we're within days of that thrust move to finish that and then see that pullback. All right, let's take a look at the weekly. So on the weekly, let's go ahead and zoom out here a little bit. We've got our 21 weekly, right, which we haven't tested, by the way, since September 21st. September 21st was the last time Ethereum versus the dollar retested that 21 weekly exponential moving average. Well, as we continue to creep up here, of course, this 21 is going to be creeping up quick, right, on a weekly time frame. We could find this thing over the matter of the next maybe 3 weeks or so, 4 weeks. We could see this guy creeping up here to this 236. Again, it all depends on where we top out. If we top out here at 800, well, then that 21 weekly is going to make a whole lot of sense for us to pull back to 556, 550, somewhere in that area. Would make a whole lot of sense. You know, mean reversion, revert to the mean, which in this case we're talking about the 21. All of these moving averages, and you can see back here we had a bullish cross on the 100 and the 200 weekly moving average against the dollar, Ethereum versus the dollar. Looks pretty good. Litecoin probably looks very similar. What does Litecoin look like? Okay, very easily this can be seen as a wave 3. Okay, easily can be seen as a wave 3. Let me just go ahead and clear this off here. Let's just clear off the chart. Just take a look at this. I'm going to go down to a daily. Again, we're going to go back to March. See what we've got here. All right. Okay, here we go. So from down here, 1, I don't really like this. I think the 2 is actually going to be here. 3, 4, 5. But you've got 5 waves down here. This is a lot more difficult to read because we have a clear 5-wave structure moving down. So I hope you guys can see this. From right up here, I'm going to change the subdivision, but you've got a clear 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That is 5 waves. No matter how you slice it, no matter how you dice it, that's 5 waves. Let me look at that on a 4-hour. And again, this just goes to show that I don't prepare any of this ahead of time. This is all just me. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 into the 1. But you've got 5 waves up here as well. You've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This is going to be really difficult to work itself out. You don't have any violation on the Elliott wave rules on this 5-wave structure down. You've got a head and shoulders taking ourselves right back down here to where it started, and that's usually how head and shoulders work. I suppose you could count this as an A, B, A, B, C, but I don't really like that. All right, anyway, let's go back to the daily and just see what we can make sense out of this here. Yeah, I don't like this at all. Again, we still have the same kind of structure that we have on most USD pairs where we didn't violate these lows back here when Litecoin went down to 22 bucks. We stopped here at about 25. Now we're sitting at 129. I'm going to struggle with that guy right there. Let me turn off my moving averages here and just see what we've got working for us. So off this low, it looks like a 1, 2, 1, 2. So I could get on board with that. So from here, saying we've got a 1, 2, and then from here you can see you got a little 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I don't really like this downward curve here. I don't like that because it's got 5 waves. So unless it's WXYXZ, which could be. But at any rate, if that's the 1, 2, we're working on the 3, 4, 5, very similar to Ethereum. All right, very similar to Ethereum. So where is Litecoin going to end up here if this is how this is going to work itself out? So again, from down here, again, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2, however that works itself out. Then again, working on the 3, 4, 5 on a lower degree. And I'm going to change the color, and we're just going to kind of take a look at this wave here. So again, I'm in the middle of analyzing this, so I'm going to change things around from this guy. 1, 2. We already went through the 1618 to 175, so we would kind of expect this guy to come up to about 187. So this 3 should probably find itself up here, and that would mean that 5 is going to make its way up even higher. So I would say Litecoin is actually a little more bullish than Ethereum right now. Based on this looks pretty good, and we could fall back as deep as $85. It's very possible that we come back and reclaim this as support, which, you could see we have a little bit of resistance clustering right here. But off this 2, 1, 2, 3, yeah, I think this is probably what's going to happen. I think we're going to find Litecoin finding itself all the way up to almost $200 before we do see a little bit of a pullback. And maybe we only see that pullback right to where we're at right now, up down to 140, before we see ourselves up higher. I think that probably is going to be what makes the most sense out of this. So taking ourselves, let's say we do make our way up here to 188. Yeah, right back down here to the 236 at 131 would make a whole lot of sense. Right back here, reclaim this as support yet again, because we've got this resistance cluster here. We're finding the same resistance cluster now, so it would make a heck of a lot of sense for us to moonshot through here. We see a little bit of that pullback. We reclaim that as support. Then we see the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 to finish really just wave 3. Really just wave 3. Wouldn't that be crazy to see Ethereum, and sorry, not Ethereum, Litecoin all the way back up above $300, something we haven't seen in a long time. And maybe what actually will end up happening here, that wave 3, and this is a huge extended third, right? So, but maybe we do see this guy. Let me throw the 3618 and the 4618 on here. So let's put the 4618, there's all the way up there. Let's get the 3618, 618, that guy right there. Yeah, actually, that's got us basically kind of where I was expecting, about 335. So that wave three going right up there to about 335. Then we see the pullback, and then we see that ultimate target where Litecoin could find itself up at $600. Sound pretty crazy? Yeah, it kind of is. But this right here, we're talking about this happening next year, right? So we're going to get this little thrust up here within the next couple weeks. We see that pullback, and when we're talking like March time frame, February, March, that's when this is going to be looking pretty good, I think. I don't think this is going to happen quick. I think it's going to take time. Let's take a look at Litecoin versus Bitcoin and see what it is doing. All right, we're looking at this on the daily at the moment. So Litecoin versus Bitcoin looks like it is creating a little bit of a bottom. Let's take a look at our indicators. I'm going to take a look just at my daily here. So I'm going to get rid of all of this other stuff. Get rid of all of those. We're just taking a look at the daily and just taking a look and seeing what it looks like. So daily, let's see here. So we've got a bottom here. We've got a bottom here. I would say that this actually is looking pretty good. Let's see if we can get a count. Let me take a look at Litecoin versus Bitcoin on the Binance exchange. Probably, yeah, we still got that huge wick down. Okay, so zoom out of that. Get our top up here, which was, yep, I remember that day. That was when we had the Litecoin Cash. That was crazy. Big pullback and then a retrace. So let's just measure this and see what we've got. I'm going to do this both on linear and I'm going to do this on log scale. So let's take this from the top to the bottom, which that bottom goes in December of 2018, about the same time that Bitcoin was bottoming. We do that pullback, and then where do we go for a corrective target? The 100, the 123.6. I think Litecoin has bottomed on a Bitcoin trading pair. I would say if you're going to, I mean, really, you're talking about a huge loss if you were to try and long Litecoin. I would say the best place to do it was down here at this 1236. Let me do this on linear scale and just see. I mean, this takes it all the way down here to 863 sats, which sounds a little crazy. It could be possible, but what this looks like a completion of a correction. So I think Litecoin looks okay. So some of those targets that we were talking about are very, very possible. And let's just talk about why they're possible. I'm going to pull up my little calculator here. So let's just say for a moment that we have bottomed out here. We would be looking to correct the entire move. Okay, correct the entire move. So take it from the top, look left, got it right up there at the top of 0.025. Take yourself all the way down here to the bottom. We'd be looking for this guy to go all the way up to the 50 or the 65, or it's the 618. The 50 or the 618, likely where this could potentially go. All right, if that were to happen, well, shoot, let's just see what we've got here. So we take this guy from right here all the way up here to just the 50 is 113% increase on the Litecoin versus Bitcoin trading pair. Right now, Litecoin is trading at 0.044492, while Bitcoin is trading at $28,895, which means, sorry, 0.0044. So 0.0044492 times Bitcoin trading at 28,947. That puts Litecoin trading at about, here, let me put this over here, about 128.80, and Litecoin is trading at $130. So that makes sense. If Litecoin happens to make its way, let's say it does happen to make its way to 0.009592, multiply that by even the current price, 28,982, well, that is now getting close to $300. And if Bitcoin's trading at $30,000, 0.009592 times 30,000, well, there's $287. If Litecoin makes its way up here to the 618, 0.012 times 30,000, well, there's your $360 right there. We could easily make ourselves up there. And if Bitcoin continues to thrust to the upside, it gives more fuel to this Litecoin trading pair. That this could happen. It could very well happen. All right, let's go ahead and just keep on moving. Let's take a look at Cardano. What does Cardano look like? ADABTC, and we're going to take a look at this on Bittrex because there's going to be more history there. This guy right here actually looks pretty good. It looks pretty good. We're not violating these lows. I think we have found support down here at the 400 to 450 level. I think we found support there. And I think also what we actually completed here off the bottom is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 3, 4, 5. I think that completed that move. Then we do a pullback. Let's see how far we've pulled back here. It looks like we're coming down here to the 786 or the 887, but let's just measure it just to check it out. Let's see what we've got here. Let's go ahead and get our 887 on here. That's a little lower. Let's put the 786 on here. And there we go. So actually we did. We came really close to the 887. So where are we looking at for Cardano? We're going to do the same thing that we did. We're going to measure from the bottom, measure to the top. We're going to do our pullback, see where we're looking at for upside targets. Now, keep in mind, Cardano topped out all the way up at like, what was it, 100,000 sats? Is that right? Am I remembering this correctly? Or maybe it was 10,000. So yes, all the way up here. Yes, at about 10,000 sats. My apologies. I had that. I had some dream in my mind that we went much higher than this. But again, if this is a 1-2, we would expect this guy to come up here to 2,600 sats. Then after that move is complete, we're looking at this to continue to move up higher. Makes a whole lot of sense for us to come and test this area right here, which is going to be at about 4,000. We'll just call it an even 4,000. All right, and let's take Fibonacci and measure from the top to the bottom and see what the retrace target would be. From the top to the bottom, where is our 50? Right smack dab right there. It is right there. I'm not making this up. This is exactly right. And it is possible for us to make ourselves all the way up here to the 618, but I'm going to be watching this 50 at 4,100 sats. Okay, so right now Cardano is currently trading at something like 14 cents. Let's just do it. 0.0000627 times 29,150. Bitcoin is pushing. That's 18.27 cents. If Cardano were to make itself to 0.00004127 times, even at the current price, 29,148, well, there's a $1.20 right there. That's significant, considering Cardano is currently trading at 18 cents. That's 6x from where we're at right now. Very, very high possibility that that happens. No, this is not going to happen tomorrow. No, this is not going to happen next week. This is going to take time, right? Look at how much time it took for us to go from all the way down here where Cardano was trading at like 4 cents, 3 cents. It moved itself all the way up here, and we're still, even on the pullback, we're still trading at 18 cents because Bitcoin is, again, taking the fire. But, you're losing alpha by staying in alts. Even though your USD value is maybe maintaining, maybe gaining a little bit, you're losing Bitcoin. You're losing Bitcoin. And for some of you, that's okay. Maybe you're okay trading the USD pair. Nothing wrong with that. I'm just giving my opinion here. But nonetheless, if this is a 1-2, these are the areas we're going to be looking for. We're going to be looking for the 3 to hit either here or here. If that 3 hits up here at 4,000, then I believe we are going to go up here to 5,600. I believe that that's going to be a real possibility. We're going to thrust through and we're going to hit probably the golden pocket here. So we're going to look at the 618 to the 65. Let me get the 65 on here. 0.65. 0.65. All right. We're going to throw that little golden pocket right there, 5,100 to 5,500, sorry, 5,200 to 5,500. That's going to be where this is going to be going. And if we make our way up there, let's check it out, 0.00005187 times, even with Bitcoin just sitting here at 29,148, now we're talking about $1.50. So instead of 6x, you're really talking about 7 or 8x from where we're currently at. Now, granted, we're probably going to see a pullback on Bitcoin. That pullback is where you should be looking to buy. All right, let's keep on going. Let's take a look at Tron. What does Tron look like? Tron looks absolutely atrocious right now. But yeah, I mean, Tron, let's take a look. TRXBTC. Let's take a look at this on Binance because there's going to be Man, we are just coming back down here to like the genesis of Tron moving sideways at 27 sats for like all of November and some of December before it moved up to 2000 sats. This looks, I mean, it looks awful. And I really can't give any advice to this because of the huge spike up here and the pullback. We didn't even make ourselves back here to the 50. This just doesn't look good. If we assume that this was an anomaly and we take this out of the equation, then what we could, realistically do is measure this guy, do the pullback. Do we actually find Tron coming all the way back down here to 50 sats? I mean, that is very possible. That is very possible that we do see that happen. Very possible we could see Tron come all the way back down here to 50 sats. I'll tell you one thing. If Tron finds its way at 50 sats or 47 sats or 45 sats, I'm going to be buying, just like I bought Doge. I bought Doge. We're going to talk about that here in a little bit as well. So Tron versus Bitcoin, I mean, I wouldn't be sitting holding Tron right now. I would be waiting. But when it's done, okay, when Tron is done correcting, and again, you're probably going to be gaining some USD, but you're losing alpha. If Tron does make its way down here to 47, we're going to be looking for this guy again to come up here to the 50. And I'm looking left, and where I'm really focused on, again, we're looking at a daily. What I'm really focused on is this area right here, which is actually between the 50 and the 618, because we've got resistance, support, resistance, support, resistance, and we really haven't tested this area again. And I think we're going to get it. I do think we're going to get it, but I think it's going to take a quick capitulation, then we get that push up. So watch Tron at 50 sats. I would say you need to keep an eye on that. All right, let's keep on going. Let's take a look at Chainlink. Everybody loves Chainlink. Oh man, look at that. Look at that pullback. Look at that pullback. We haven't seen these prices since back here in April and May. We haven't seen that. All right, so just a couple things to note here. We're looking at the Bitcoin pair because we know that Bitcoin versus the dollar is going up, right? So as these alts are losing value, this is high probability a wave 4. By the way, this looks so good. So for those of you that are in my Discord server, that you're going through my L8 wave classes, this is a clear wave 4, ABCDE wave 4. I mean, that is clear as crystal. So this looks really good. So what we're going to do is we're going to take this guy off the bottom. We've got our 1, 2, and then we've got, a large thrust up here. I think this is our 3, 4, finish the 5. Finish the 5. Then we see that pullback. We correct the entire move. So on a strong trend, you're going to see this guy stop at the 50. And guys, it's right there. Right here at 34,500, it's right there. Chainlink may be close to being done correcting. That's kind of what I'm saying here. From the top, let me just zoom in here and let's just take a look at this, because what we can see here, a nice, I'm doing a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, easily could be a WX, YX, Z. Okay, then, yeah, here's another triangle. Here's another triangle. Look at this right here, and then right here. So from that, from the bottom, A, B, C, D, E. All right. So if this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, we get the correction. Then off of that, what do we get? This looks actually too good to be true. 1, 2, 3. Working on the 4. We get that 5, and maybe it goes a little bit deeper. But guys, this looks really, really good. I would say that Chainlink is really close to being done correcting. This looks the best out of all that I've looked at so far. Let's keep going. VeChain. VeChain did a significant pullback. It looks like it's trying to bottom out here, but taking this from the bottom to the top, we went beyond the 887. Actually, I would say it's a valid touch of the 887. So, maybe VeChain versus Bitcoin is done correcting. If this thing closes below 57, I would say it's probably reevaluate. But for right now, I think it looks okay. It probably looks okay. Let's take a look at Doge. Doge all the way down at 16 sats. Now, let me take a look at this. Doge, BTC, do this on Bittrex. We're going to have a lot more history there. Just take a look at the history of Doge when it's down here, right? It really hasn't ever gone below 15 sats. Okay, except for, you know, all the way back here when it was brand new back in 2014 on Bittrex. But it really hasn't gone down below this. If it cuts down below 15, I'm probably going to get rid of it, if I'm being honest. But this looked too good to just avoid. It looked too good. And where is Doge going to go? All right, well, I'm going to find this top here, take ourselves down here, and you can see based on this move right here, we went almost to 618. Again, bounce at the 50, bounce at the 50. You know, we bounced here at the 236. I think next time we're going to push through, I think we're going to get there. That's 120 sats. We're currently at 17, right? So that's a 6x right from where we're at right now. Next alt season, I think you should be focusing on 6x. You shouldn't be focusing on 1,000% gains, 5,000% gains. You should be looking at 500-600%. That is realistically where you should probably be looking, assuming that we do get that alt season, and I think that we will. Lumens looks bad. I would be very skeptical holding both lumens because it's making new lows here, right? We haven't seen this on lumens in a while, so I would avoid lumens. Ripple, man, I mean, Ripple just looks terrible. Ripple looks like it wants to make its way all the way down here to 174. I wouldn't touch Ripple until the dust has settled. I do think that it has great potential, but I don't know where this bottom is going to be. It could go very, very low. It's losing market cap. It's being delisted. It may come back. These things may be reversed, but for right now, I would just avoid it. Avoid it. Let's see here, Polkadot. Let's see here, DOTBTC. Let me see if I've got something that has a little bit more history. Dot on KuCoin. Yeah, I mean this looks like it is done correcting. It looks like it's coming out of that falling wedge. It came down here to the 786. This guy actually looks pretty good, and it actually looks like it's retesting right now. So I mean, Polkadot looks okay. I would be okay buying some of this. I think this looks all right, as long as it doesn't get back inside of here. So as long as it stays above 23,350, I think we're okay on this guy. You know, upside target for him, I mean, shoot, again, I'm going to ignore this huge wick here, just because that's not, in my opinion, not really valid, but I am going to take where it opened, up, take the pullback. I mean, look where this guy could potentially go. Actually, it looks like it wants to, it may go all the way back up here. This one could have better success. This one could have that, well, I mean, even then, that's only 750%. So there you go. I think that's possible. Real Matthews, hey man, I think we're getting close. I think we just have to give it more time. I think it does need more time. Let's take a look at SXP, then I'm going to take a look at Ziliqua, and then we're going to go ahead and close things out. SXP looked like it was creating a bottom back here, but it's just continuing to just slow bleed. Of course, the USD value is really maintaining because Bitcoin's going up, but your alts versus Bitcoin are continuing to just bleed. So, you know, just be careful with that. Let's take a look at Ziliqua. Now, I bought this guy at 100. You can see right here, I bought it at 145. I didn't sell up here because I think that this is a wave 4, and I think it's actually going to go higher. I think Ziliqua is looking pretty good from where it's at right now. So I would say this one does have good potential, probably better potential than some of the others, because, you know, while some others were losing value, this one actually gained value. A nice trough here, dug ourselves out, cup, handle, trying to break out, and then I think this guy has potential to really go much, much higher. So again, I bought this one at 145, so I'm not planning on selling anytime soon. I think my entry was not bad. Not bad. So we can see this guy finding itself up here again to the 50. Watch the 50, watch the 618. That 382 has a good support bounce on it previously, so you'll see a good resistance bounce up here at 929. What kind of percentage move are we seeing off of that? Let's just see what we can find here. Up to the 382, that's 272, 272% from basically where the bottom was, what, today or yesterday. If we do find our way up here to the 618 or the 65, well, I mean, there's your 500%. So I just think across the board, I think that's what you should be aiming for. You shouldn't be aiming for thousands of percent gains. I think those days are gone. I think money is rotating, and you should just take advantage of it. But it is going to require you to be patient, and that's something that not a lot of people have. And speaking of patience, I'm going to go ahead and end the video now. I'm going to go ahead and end it here. If this video did prove helpful for you in any way, shape, or form, I appreciate the likes, subscribes, shares. In the video description, there is a link to get access to our Discord server. Feel free to use that. And of course, wherever you are in the world, I hope you're having a good day, a good night, and a good evening. Take care, everyone.